Because there are reports that Prince Harry, Meghan Markle and their children could be set to lose their royal titles if and when Prince William becomes monarch. There are growing calls to strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. The New York Post is reporting that locals in the UK say enough is enough, especially after Prince Harry's disastrous BBC interview, which aired hours after he lost his appeal for taxpayer-funded UK.
Your titles are gone. You're going to be Meghan Mountbatten Windsor. Your husband's going to be Harry Mountbatten Windsor. And all your threats of legal action, I think, is something that William will quite rightly stare down. But let me take you through.
Meghan is just still that desperate starlet trying to cling on to any bit of fame and fortune that she can get her hands on, despite climbing up the pole, the highest that anybody could ever go. She slid straight back down to where she was before she even met.
Turning out of the growing fallout from Harry and Meghan's royal exit.
So that they would no longer have a title whatsoever, and their children would lose what Meghan Markle once referred to as their birthright.
William is willing to cut a limb in order to save the body. He's willing to even sacrifice the titles of his children in order to clean the Windsor house, because enough is enough. And Harry and Meghan know it.
I think there's much of a relationship between William and Andrew, but I think Harry and Meghan should be shaking in their boots right now if they are not already. And they could have had the best of all worlds if they had played their cards right. But this was...
Well, I really do feel it will happen. And I think it's important to note that it won't be a revenge play by William. It's very...
You're in America now, and we don't give a shit about you. You're not our fucking prince. You'll never be king. We hate your wife. Stay at home in your $29 million mansion. I just can't stand her. I just think she's such a phony.
Harry's digging an even bigger hole for himself here.
Well, I think he's dug so deep now, he'll strike water any day now.
William is reportedly formulating a plan to finally strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their HRH titles.
The clock's running out for Prince Harry, and he knows it. While King Charles faces his illness head-on, William is quietly stepping up with a plan that could wipe Harry's royal identity clean off the map. The titles, the legacy, the privilege, gone in one royal swoop. Right now, Harry's high above the Atlantic. But this isn't some warm family visit or charity tour. This is a desperate dash, a fight for his royal survival. Sources close to Buckingham Palace say he jumped on a private jet the second he realized the danger closing in. The monarchy isn't just thinking about it. They're preparing to strip him and Meghan of their titles once and for all.
Here's the story right here. Reported by The Express, Prince Harry loses family title as other royal steps in to replace him.
But what most people don't know is how fast things changed behind the scenes. In the past, major royal decisions took months, committees, consultations, endless discussions. But these last few weeks have been different. The pace inside Buckingham Palace has been described as alarming, a level of urgency not seen since the days following the Queen's death. For some staff members, the sudden acceleration has raised eyebrows. One palace worker, speaking off the record, said the mood shifted overnight the moment the king's condition worsened. Everything got colder, sharper, more serious, they said. It felt like the family stopped thinking about emotions and started thinking about survival. And survival, in William's eyes, means cutting away anything that threatens the monarchy's credibility. King Charles's cancer diagnosis didn't just shift the tone of public appearances.
There's fascinating reporting from Radar Online, and it's their British-based reporter Aaron Tinney, a tabloid veteran, who writes, Meghan Markle already preparing to go legal over fears Prince William will inevitably come for her Duchess title. And he writes, Meghan Markle is panicked and defiant.
It shook the entire foundation of the crown. What the world sees as a health crisis is, behind closed doors, a full-blown power shift. Insiders call it the quiet succession. William, once the reserved heir, has now become the monarchy's de facto ruler. While Charles battles his illness, William is running strategy meetings, diplomatic briefings, and taking full control of the family's public image. His leadership style? Ice cold and efficient. Those around him say he has changed drastically. The easygoing William from a decade ago is gone. This version of William is strict, deeply protective of the institution, and increasingly intolerant of anything resembling scandal. And to him, Harry and Meghan have become walking storm clouds. Unpredictable, dramatic, and costly. Charles leads with heart, William leads with precision. And under William's rule, there's no room for emotional reunions or second chances, especially not for Harry. To William, the monarchy isn't a family anymore. It's a brand. And every brand needs strict reputation control.
I can't even. These two, Meghan and Harry, are the worst.
He doesn't see Harry and Meghan as wronged royals, but as liabilities. Liabilities who have done repeated damage. Every explosive interview, every streaming deal, every tell-all book has chipped away at the crown's credibility, and William's patience has officially run dry. As one royal aide reportedly said, William's cleaning house. That one line, said in a low voice in a hallway nobody was supposed to hear, tells you everything you need to know. For years, Charles's compassion kept Harry in the royal picture, longer than anyone expected. Charles always hoped time would heal things, but William doesn't operate on hope. He operates on outcomes.
She's slaughtered this weekend because there were some business cards in the back of one of her podcasts. She's still using her royal title, HRH, despite our late Queen warning her again.
And now that William is effectively steering the ship, sentimentality isn't part of the plan. Once that crown, symbolic or real, rests on his head, he won't hesitate to cut away anyone dragging down the royal machine. And guess whose name sits right at the top of that list? Harry's. Before boarding that flight, Harry made one last plea, a request for a private meeting with his father and brother. He didn't ask for a formal meeting or some royal protocol moment. He wanted something simple, to talk like family. Man to man, son to father, brother to brother.
It's not a financial thing. Working royals do not profit. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honour to have an HRH.
Absolutely.
So the fact that she's continued to use this HRH when they've been instructed not to.
But the palace didn't respond. Not a single reply. Not even a polite acknowledgement. No meeting, no message, nothing. And that silence wasn't confusing. It was calculated. In the royal world, silence is louder than shouting. It's how the institution reminds you who holds the power. Silence means you no longer have access. Silence means decisions are being made without you. Silence means your presence isn't required. And for Harry, that silence spoke more loudly than any public statement ever could. Behind the scenes, William's team has been planning this move for months, packaging it as royal modernization. But everyone inside those walls knows exactly what modernization means, cutting loose anyone who weakens the brand. And in their eyes, Harry and Meghan have become the biggest threat to that brand in decades.
But she said she was in the trenches. She alludes to being in the trenches when she was in the British royal family. Girl, you lived in a castle. Like, you got a princess title.
The plan is gaining serious traction, and Harry's sudden flight feels less like a homecoming and more like a last-ditch attempt to stop the inevitable. Insiders whisper that while Harry is chasing peace, William is chasing results. William doesn't want apologies or long emotional conversations. He wants order restored. He wants control back. He wants the monarchy to survive, without constant drama. He's not looking for hugs or family therapy sessions. He's removing problems one name at a time. William's mission is clear. He's cutting out the noise and proving he can defend the crown's dignity. Every move, every silence, every decision now screams control. Even palace aides who once pitied Harry have turned cold.
Major breaking news out of London. Buckingham Palace announcing Harry and Meghan will no longer formally represent the Queen. That means they will no longer receive public funds and they will stop using their royal titles.
One insider told The Mirror he made his choice. Now he's facing the consequences. That single line says everything. So when Harry's plane touches down in London, he's not coming home to warmth. He's walking straight into a fortress that has already sealed his fate. Sure, the palace gates might open for him, but not with open arms. He's no longer the cherished son or the beloved brother. He's become something the monarchy fears: unpredictable. And unpredictable is dangerous. But the story takes an even darker turn when you look at the warnings Queen Elizabeth left behind. She didn't just leave a legacy, she left instructions. And one of them, insiders say, was aimed directly at Meghan Markle. Her Majesty reportedly told Meghan to never use her royal title for personal profit. But Meghan did exactly that. From archetypes to the Netflix deals, from books to brand partnerships. Every project leaned on her Duchess title. She didn't distance herself from the royal label. She turned it into a ladder.
that they will not use the HRH title. That is a long-standing precedent, and there's good reason for it. Basically, the HRH is only given to working royals and senior.
And now her new cosmetics venture has triggered a fresh wave of concern inside the palace. The Instagram teasers, the polished makeup clips, the magazine-level visuals, all of it has been seen by William's advisors as more than just entrepreneurship. To them, it feels like Meghan is building a Hollywood empire tied directly to the royal identity she walked away from. Meeting with Vogue stylists, posing with Hollywood influencers, being treated like a global beauty figure. Meghan's rebranding herself, but she's using the royal title to do it. And to William, that isn't ambition. It's rebellion. And rebellion must be dealt with. The late Queen's warning wasn't casual. It wasn't a suggestion. It was a rule. One she believed would protect the monarchy long after she was gone. She had seen what happened when royals blurred the line between duty and profit. She knew the public would tolerate tradition, but not commercialization. But Meghan ignored it. Not quietly, boldly. And now the same royal rules that once elevated her are becoming the reason to take everything away. Then came the YouGov poll, a survey that spread across Buckingham Palace like wildfire. The numbers weren't just surprising, they were explosive. Nearly half of Britain, 47%, believed Meghan Markle posed a greater threat to the monarchy than Prince Andrew, a former actress seen as more damaging than a man tied to one of the darkest scandals in royal history.
Meghan understands the stakes and she's ready to fight in court if it comes to that. Maybe if you understood the stakes, you shouldn't have spent all of your time calling the British royal family racist. Anyway, a friend of the couple said watching Andrew lose everything and become Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was a wake-up call. Meghan has taken it as a clear warning that no title is guaranteed. If anyone tries to take hers, she's not going to stay silent.
The symbolism was devastating. For William, this poll was a turning point. Not because he hated Meghan, but because he finally had the proof he needed. Proof that the public wasn't just frustrated. They were tired. Tired of the drama. Tired of the interviews. Tired of the constant headlines surrounding two royals who no longer lived in the UK. One aide insists that when William saw the poll, his reaction was silent, but sharp. Almost like a judge reading a verdict. He didn't yell. He didn't throw anything. He simply understood something critical. The monarchy can't survive this long term. He had already warned his father that public patience was fading. Now the numbers made it undeniable. Meanwhile, Meghan's team brushed off the poll, calling it media bias. They dismissed the reactions online. But as one palace official put it privately, bias doesn't move a nation's opinion. Behind palace walls, the poll wasn't viewed as noise. It was viewed as a green light, a sign that the public would support modernization, even if it meant stripping titles.
A progressive new role within the royal family. While the royal family does modernize, the Queen sends tweets.
Inside Buckingham Palace, whispers grew into strategy sessions. Senior advisors began reviewing legal options. Some studied protocols from the 1930s. Others analyzed more recent title removals. The mood shifted from caution to preparation. And that's when the two-step plan finally took shape. Step 1. Strip Prince Andrew of every remaining privilege, publicly and decisively. Step 2. Use the same legal precedent to quietly remove Harry and Meghan's titles. No explosions, no public fights, no dramatic speeches. Just legal procedure, carried out in silence. Even people sympathetic to Harry admit that William's plan is clever. It doesn't look like revenge. It looks like modernization.
What the monarchy means for the monarchy.
Well, people are talking about it being a constitutional crisis, and I'm not sure it is a constitutional crisis. Through circumstance and the Cambridges having 3 children, Harry slipped down from being the spare.
A simple, practical update to a royal structure that many felt was outdated. On the surface, it's paperwork. Inside the palace, it's a purge. This isn't brotherly drama anymore. It's restructuring. William's vision for the future monarchy is clean, tight, and polished. A sleek institution with fewer working royals and 0 distractions. It's the opposite of the world Harry and Meghan built for themselves in California. A world full of cameras, interviews, and branding deals. In William's Britain, the monarchy is a corporation, and Harry and Meghan are liabilities in the file marked remove. The brilliance of William's plan lies in its quiet execution. Once Parliament sets the legal precedent, the monarchy can say it's simply following protocol. No anger, no emotion, just procedure. But behind that clean explanation, everyone inside the palace knows the truth. This is William's final chess move, and the board is already arranged.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
Harry doesn't even realize how many pieces have been taken while he was away. And as King Charles's health quietly declines, William's shadow grows stronger across the entire institution. His decisions are shaping the royal brand, and those decisions send chills down Harry's spine. Because Harry knows exactly who the monarchy becomes under William's leadership. A machine that doesn't slow down for anyone, not even for blood. William's rise inside the monarchy hasn't been loud. It hasn't been dramatic. It's been steady, controlled, and strategic. The exact opposite of Harry's approach to life. As Charles's health weakens, William has stepped into every empty space like it was always meant for him. Diplomats now meet with him first. Advisors brief him before the king. Staff follow his pace, his rules, his expectations. And that's what truly frightens Harry. Because William doesn't rule like Charles. Charles forgives. Charles hesitates. Charles avoids conflict. William doesn't. William acts. William removes. William organizes.
Prince Harry once held a fun family title when he was still on good terms with the royal family. But since his departure in 2020, another royal had to step in. Now, Hazza, before he left, was known as the Fun Uncle. That was the family title he had, sharing a close relationship with Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis.
There's no mother to soften his decisions. No father strong enough to protect Harry now. No queen to remind everyone that family matters. This is a new monarchy, and Harry is on the outside. Meanwhile, Meghan continues shaping her own narrative across the ocean. Her so-called award-winning podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, is the latest example. Barely anyone tuned in. Reviews were lukewarm. Spotify quietly moved on. And yet, she proudly displayed 2 Shiny Signal Awards as if she had reshaped the entire industry. Insiders call this the Meghan effect, the ability to present something small as something monumental. She doesn't need success. She just needs the impression of success. And for a while, that worked. But behind the curated photos and glowing captions, cracks have started to show. Former collaborators whisper that the podcast was all style, no substance. Even people close to her say her obsession with image has pushed away staff, friends, and allies.
Just to enter the least royal lodge, leaves no doubt in my mind Harry and Meghan are next. The sun begins to set over Montecito permanently, and Prince William,
She spent hours perfecting the glare of a photo, but only minutes preparing the actual content. This is exactly where William's team strikes hardest. They've kept a quiet record. Every failed deal, every exaggerated headline, every public contradiction. They aren't using emotion. They're using evidence. To them, Meghan isn't misunderstood. She's manipulative. And for a monarchy built on quiet dignity, her flashy rebel princess act is more than annoying. It's insulting. She built her empire on perception. But perception fades fast. And when it fades, the crash hits hard. Harry feels that more than anyone. There was a time when he seemed untouchable. The soldier prince, the global icon, the brave one. But now, insiders describe him as a man carrying the weight of choices.
Tash, I'm not won over at all by Prince Harry attempting to try and sort of get himself back into the good books of us Brits, okay? Like, no.
He never fully understood. Freedom was supposed to be a fresh start. Instead, he got a life built on headlines he can't control. California was supposed to be peace. Instead, it's become the stage for a slow unraveling. He's restless. He's anxious. He's unsure of who he is without a title. He's tried reconnecting, apologizing, testing the waters. But inside the palace, forgiveness is rare, and memory is long. One staffer reportedly said, he apologizes when he needs something. That's not change. That's strategy. Meanwhile, Meghan's empire isn't growing. It's shrinking. Her projects struggle to gain traction. Her influence dims as new A-list figures replace her in the Hollywood rotation. Even royal security, once guaranteed, is now insecure. And for Harry, A man raised under centuries of protection.
Harry was never going to take US citizenship because he would have to renounce his titles. He would then have to pay tax like a US citizen does. And we know that with Harry's special visa,
losing that safety net is terrifying. Friends say he's torn between protecting Meghan and protecting the identity he abandoned. He knows the storm coming toward them is partly of his own making. And as the walls close in, even he's starting to ask himself the question he once swore he'd never consider. Did he make the biggest mistake of his life? Now imagine the final picture. No Duke and Duchess of Sussex. No Prince Archie. No Princess Lilibet. Just Harry and Meghan Windsor. Two former royals trying to navigate celebrity life without the titles that gave them access, power, security, and million-dollar opportunities. Those titles aren't just words. They're shields. Without them, the Sussex empire begins to crack fast. If William succeeds, the monarchy becomes smaller, stronger, and more controlled. If Harry somehow finds his way back, it will require a level of humility the world hasn't seen from him before. Either way, the truth is the same. This time, even royalty can't escape the consequences. And the moment Harry's plane lands on UK soil, everything he fears may already be waiting for him. If you made it this far, hit that like button, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more royal bombshells.